All right, welcome into Extra Time. Gab Marcotti and Frank Leboeuf are still with us. Frank, did you ever look at that fight?
Yes, I love that fight. You know, I love the end of it when one of the teammates tried to punch somebody and he punched his teammates. Have you seen that? Have you seen that he punched his teammate?
I missed that.
He missed the guy and punched his. I love that. Yeah.
Well, for those who are just tuning into Extra Time and not the show, Real Betis had a preseason game against Como and they got into an altercation afterwards. Fists were flying. I'm sure a few naughty words as well. But Frank, I knew he was going to love the fight. Frank, how was your vacation? How's your luxury vacation? I live for ex-footballer vacations.
What?
Listen, my wife and I went to Sevilla, and I have to say, it's one of the nicest city in the world, with full of history, and we enjoyed 3 days of a hot weather, very much hot weather, and after we went down to Cadiz, in Spain, in the Atlantic Sea, and we relaxed by the beach, and that was a lovely time. And we're back in Normandy, but we missed our time. I'm pleased to be with you guys, but the 10 days were very important. Good 10 days rest for us.
What do you think, Shaq? What do you think? Frank and the beach. Speedos?
Oh, Frank's a
Speedos
Speedos.
for
Frank's a
sure.
Speedos guy.
Absolutely.
Frank's a Speedo guy.
Frank's a
Of
He's
course
right.
not. Of course not.
Frank, come on.
It's forbidden.
No,
No.
Frank is a fluorescent
I think
colored
so.
Speedos.
Fluorescent. I'm thinking like neon pink.
No.
What,
G-string.
neon pink?
Highlighter pink.
What'd you say, Frank? I'm sorry? What'd you say, Frank?
No Speedo, G-strings.
All right. That's what I thought you said. That's what I thought you said.
Right.
Not the G.
Truth always comes out.
Truth always comes out. Have you guys ever worn a Speedo on the beach?
When I was a kid in Venezuela, that's what we
That's
rocked.
it. But in adulthood,
No.
No.
Shaka said no. I think these were the answers that nobody wanted. But we'll get into the questions now, shall we? First one coming from Phil, and he wants to know, are they, I'm assuming you guys, on the Manchester United bandwagon yet? Oh my days.
We know who is.
Who's riding and driving that bandwagon?
Excuse me, I built that bandwagon.
Yep.
Even though those wheels be falling off and it's chattering.
You got square wheels on that wagon.
I've got square wheels of wood on that wagon, but I still drive it proudly.
Phil, we had a top 10 today. 6 of them were tap-ins.
Yeah.
2 yards out.
But it's from Benjamin Sheska. You know where he's going.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Just trying to give everyone a little preview of what he's going to be doing when he's laying down defenders in the Premier
One-person
League.
bandwagon going on right here.
So, answer to your question, no, nobody's on the bandwagon. Apart from me, I'm still driving it solo and proudly. Dan Summertan wants to know, I don't think Dan can tan. Frank,
boy.
if Chelsea sign Xavi Simons, will they win the Premier League title this season?
There's no win. There's no. They missed our win. So we don't know what. We don't know what it is.
There's.
We don't know what it is. Dan Summertan is going for.
Yeah. It has win here, so
right,
maybe the
so-
graphic just.
All right. Okay.
I'd avoid to point out the mistake by the graphic people, Shaq.
Yes.
You know, this is a team.
Now they're gonna get yelled
I
at.
thought it was a mistake by Dan Summertan.
Guys, this
I
question
was just
for
making the
Frank.
point that we don't know what Dan Summertan is talking
This question
about.
was for Frank. Let Frank have his 2 minutes of fame. Frank?
I don't think so. I mean, I really appreciate Xavi Simons. I saw him starting at Paris Saint-Germain, and I saw what he did to RB Leipzig. But again, there is a difference between playing for RB Leipzig and playing after for a big club like Chelsea. And there is a way to settle down the quickest as possible, but we don't know how it's going to be Xavi Simons. And if you have to compare right now, Liverpool and Chelsea, for example, you will say that Liverpool are the favorites. But it's encouraging to see the signing that I saw from Chelsea, and Chelsea can be, let's say, one of the contender, but more, I would say, more one of the 4 teams for the Champions League. But to pretend that you can win the Premier League, you still need more consistency and more experience for me.
Let me go to Gab quickly on this one. Gab, what is the latest on this one? Will Chelsea get Xavi Simons?
I think it's blowing hot and cold. I think he's made it very clear that he wants to move on. I think Leipzig are ready to cash in. For me, the big question with Xavi Simons is what's the knock-on effect going to be on the rest of the team? How is it going to impact Cole Palmer? How is it going to impact Enzo? Who's going to play where? You know, these are just questions. You don't just drop Xavi Simons into a team and say, oh, look, he's a good player. Chelsea have made a bunch of other signings. What does Maresca actually have in mind? And like I said, with Chelsea, it often looks like, oh, look, here's an asset. Let's sign him, and then we'll figure out what to do with him later, knowing that if he's young and if he's talented, you know, we can always kind of flip him and sort out our books if it doesn't work out for us. So, yeah, I don't know. He adds depth, sure, but would he crack the starting 11? I'm not 100% certain.
Just for a little bit of context, because we seem to be loving Xavi Simons and Benjamin Sesko and these players from Leipzig. Just a reminder, Leipzig missed out on the top 4 in Bundesliga. And part of the reason as to why they missed out is because Xavi Simons was not playing at his best. Benjamin Sesko was not as productive as they thought he would be. Lois Openda was coming up short. I'm just saying, we seem to believe and think and project that these guys were magnificent over here, they're going to be great over there. Well, they were not magnificent over here. And so that projection as to magically they're going to be great somewhere else, I think we're taking a leap with both Sesko and Xavi Simons.
Gab?
I think I'm right in saying I think they lost 8 or 9 games out of 10 in the Champions League. And if there's a cautionary tale to the model, it's Leipzig, because this is a team that accumulates talent and then says, all right, we'll figure out later how the pieces fit together. And this is why I'm not 100% on Xavi Simons. Does he add depth and make you better? Yeah, but Chelsea have added a lot of players that add depth and make them better. But then you got to come up with a lineup where it makes sense for these guys to play together. So I don't think it's Xavi Simons who puts Chelsea over the top.
All right. Let's move on to the next question now, shall we? And it's for Gab again. Gab, what are your thoughts on the new rule where Serie A players' salaries will automatically be reduced by 25% if their club is relegated to Serie B? Could this be adopted by other leagues?
Yeah, so they're doing this across the board. It's like a collective bargaining type thing. So, you know, even the big clubs have that in there. It's really not uncommon. I mean, even in the Premier League, you know, basically most of the teams in the bottom half of the table, already the players individually have these clauses in their contract where in case of relegation, their pay gets cut. 2 reasons to do this. One is obviously the team saves money and can hang on to the player, but also it reduces their salary. So in some cases, it becomes easier to move them on. But I think it's purely common sense. I mean, the gap between the top flight, even with the parachute payments and the second tier in all of Europe's big 5 leagues, is just very, very significant. So it's a good way for clubs to protect themselves.
As former players?
This used to be a thing, I'm going to say a thing, well, certainly in English football. And while it wasn't automatically deducted by the league, more and more clubs, there were clauses in player contracts that if we get relegated, this is the drop in wages that will happen. I'm not sure where that went, because I've not signed a player contract for quite some time.
5 years?
Yeah, well, but I mean, I kind of thought it was a thing for clubs who figured that there would be a chance of them going down. I didn't know it went away.
It is a thing, and in fact, not to bring it back to Manchester United, but I know you love talking about them, Alexis. Most United players have a clause in their contract where if they don't qualify for the Champions League, their wages get cut by some percentage the following season, which is why most United players this year are making less money than they did last year because they'll be watching the Champions League on television. Well, she did right less than 2 years ago. Yeah.
Somebody
And
should tell
that
Cesco
in and of
that.
Big
itself
clubs have
is
this too.
that in and of itself after last season is genuinely a blessing. Let me tell you that. Let me tell you that. Next question, because it's from Nico, and I love me a start, bench, drop, and everyone has to get in on it. So start, bench, drop, and sell based on their peak Tottenham form.
Oh boy.
So Keane, I'm assuming Robbie Keane, Berbatov, Gareth Bale, and Sonny. Start,
Do I
bench,
start?
drop, and sell.
Go ahead, Frank.
Go ahead, Frank, you have it.
I go for it. At the time where they played at Tottenham, Bale, it will be my first choice. I will start Bale. I mean, he's been absolutely fantastic. Then I put Berbatov. I mean, I was a big fan of Berbatov. I saw him playing, a great talent when he played for Manchester United and Tottenham, for example. So Bale, Berbatov, Son, because of his personality, the way he was playing, and I have to put Keane. I know Keane. I played against him. He's a great guy, but comparing to the others, no, I'm sorry, not the same league for me.
All right, so you'll sell Keane, drop Sonny, bench Berbatov, and of course start Gareth Bale. Gab, what about you?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, if your benchmark is the peaks, I'm not a Gareth Bale guy at all, but when he was at his best, he was virtually unplayable. So I think, yeah, I agree. You got to start Bale. I might have Heung-min Son second, simply because there were periods when he really carried the team. I'm thinking a couple years ago when Harry Kane had a long spell out and Son just started scoring like there was no tomorrow. He kind of, filled his boots. And then, yeah, I would take Berba. I would drop Berba, and I would sell Keane. And it's not a knock on Keane. It's just for me, Robbie Keane was more about consistency over time than he was necessarily, outstanding individual one-off performances. He like Bale's hat trick against Inter Milan or whatnot.
Chaka?
I'm with Gab on this one. I think starting Bale and dropping Keane are fairly consistent with that, and then the decision came between Berbatov and Son, but I'm leaning Son over Berbatov.
Ooh, rude.
I have a soft spot for
Berbatov. Same.
Yeah, there's something about the way
You
he
would have
played
a
the
soft
game.
spot for Berbatov. You must have a
I
soft
don't know
spot.
what you're talking about. I just think he's a great player.
Yeah, well,
Chaka, he's a great player. I've interviewed him a few times,
We know
and
you
he's
have
a great individual as well.
Carry on, Ali.
Okay. In any case, Bale,
Yes.
start, Berbatov, bench, drop Son, sell Keane. So I agree with Frank. And the case of Berbatov, nothing to do with Manchester United. I'm just talking about the player himself was at his best. I don't know if he was as appreciated as he should have been, as good a player as he was.
Oh yeah.
And
You're right.
There I say underrated in the Premier League as to
Yes.
how good he was. Berbatov was special.
Berbatov was special. Wow, that was the loving Ale voice.
Yes.
We don't often get it.
What do you mean?
But we got
Not
it
even at
today.
home.
Not
We don't even get that when
Oh
it's
no, you get that at home. You get that.
We get the loving Ale voice.
Yeah.
The twinkle in his eye.
Yeah, no.
Love you, babe. Love you.
Talking about Berbatov.
Yeah, another
oh my
4 or
days.
5 years before we see
Get
that.
Guitar on the show. Next question is coming from Alice Uber driver. Everyone loved that one. Alice Uber driver.
What?
For Alexis and Shaka.
boy.
Wow. What's your favorite Caribbean dish, and what's one you'd recommend the rest of the panel has to try? My favorite one, hands down, would be ackee and saltfish. It's the national dish of Jamaica. I absolutely love it. It's something we have for breakfast, lunch, dinner. And
Explain
it's
it,
the one
explain
thing, ackee is, believe it or not, a fruit.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a fruit that was brought over from West Africa during colonization. And it honestly is not sweet. It takes the flavor of whatever you cook it with.
Okay.
And if you force it open and cook it, it's poisonous, it's toxic. So you have to wait for the fruit to bloom and then cook it. We cook it with like salted codfish, which is like bacalao as well, which we got from the Spanish influence in Jamaica. We have it, like I said, for breakfast, lunch, dinner with like boiled ground provisions like yam, green banana, Breadfruit, which is my favorite. I will have that all the time. If I had to recommend a dish for everybody to try, it would be oxtail. Jamaican oxtail with butter beans. It's just like a nice, thick stew. Low and slow for hours.
Wow.
Okay.
On rice.
Jamaican food, I'd go for it. I'd recommend jig chicken. I love a jig chicken.
I feel like everyone
Over
expects
oxtail.
that though.
Yeah, I know.
Over oxtail?
Over oxtail.
Shaq, I'm leaving here. Goodness, I'm done.
Jig chicken over oxtail. But my favorite Caribbean dish, roti, which is curried meat, usually with vegetables, potatoes, could be anything, and it's wrapped in. I heard my cousin from Canada describe it as almost pita bread-like, but it's made with. I'm looking at you because I'm searching
Trying to describe it.
It's made with split peas and it's thinner than a pita bread, similar texture but thin,
Dalpri.
and it's wrapped. And again, that originated in Trinidad with the East Indians coming over during indentureship and being able to take their curry out into the fields with them, and that's become a big dish of ours.
That is the deepest, more context and fact-based information that we have ever heard from Shaka Hislop at any point in the history of ESPN FC.
We are proud of our culture.
Man, do you ever put that kind of work into the Shaka Power rankings? Good luck.
But I do have to say, for anyone trying Trini food or Trinbagonian food, anything curry. Trinis will curry anything. It could be this paper. They will curry it and it will taste amazing. No, it will taste amazing.
I was trying to tell Frank the other day how good our food is.
Yeah.
He wasn't having it.
We do curry as well in Jamaica, but we do curry goat.
we do curry well.
And
We
curry
do- we do.
chicken and curry shrimp and curry fish sometimes. But Trini
We do curry well. We do curry
that's a notch above.
From here on out, when I go home and my wife thinks that I'm a little upset, a little angry, a little prickly, I say, I'm like Aki in Jamaica.
Yes. You just haven't fully bloom.
If you force me open, I'm poisonous.
You're poisonous.
You've got to wait for the flower to bloom.
You gotta wait for me to bloom naturally.
If you buy some Aki, do not force it open. You can't poison yourself. But now they sell them in tins if you don't want to grow it in your backyard, I suppose, and risk being poisoned.
Well, I can tell you, Alexi, next time, if one day you invite me at home to have a dinner, allow me to be a little bit suspicious, you know, because I'm not
You
sure.
should. Just think of me as an Aki as well. I can be poisonous. Us Jamaican women, you never know. You never know.
Okay.
You never know.
I think it's time to go now.
Where do we go? Where do we go? Where do we go?
We have one more question. And it's for Gab. Oh, well, Gab, Jai wants to know, what's with the Gab and Jules show? No new episodes since July 14th? Wow, Gab. Gab's not been working.
It's the summer. We go on holiday. I think we're entitled to this.
Wow, must be nice.
Yeah, we don't go on holiday
I
here.
know, we don't go on holiday.
We don't go on holiday here.
Jules and I have unionized.
You never do.
This is part of our collective bargaining agreement. Footballers get those 3 weeks off, right? And so we get some time off over the summer. We got to come back fighting fit, but don't worry, there isn't long to go. We're going to be back, I think, just after the Community Shield.
Yes, indeed.
We
There
need
you go,
Real
Jai.
Madrid's lawyers here.
Jules is just topping up his can as we speak.
Oh, my days.
So I'm in London, so I don't get that. But he's working on his UV.
Nobody tans in London.
Did you
Nobody
say,
stands in
Shaka,
London.
did you say with a straight face, we don't get holidays here? Yeah. You did say that with a straight face. And you believed it when you said it.
I believe it now.
What do you believe more? The fact that there are no holidays here or that Alexander Isak staying with Newcastle?
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, boy. so,
In denial.
if Isaac goes, can I get a holiday?
Oh, and you should.
You will either way, Shaq.
You will either
You
way.
will either way.
Let me tell you, taking vacation or choosing holidays is Shaka Hislop's Olympics. I have never seen somebody so.
It's like he goes in the Matrix. When he's about to set up that vacation in front of his computer, he's not even talking to people. He's fully
He
focused.
gets in the zone.
He is in the Matrix, in the zone. Nobody
He
better.
was
I
never in that
should've- I should've
zone.
left.
We never
I
even
should've
saw
left
that
that
level
days
of
ago.
concentration in between the sticks, Shaka.
I knew I should have left.
Never once.
I knew
When's
I
your next
should've gone
holiday?
What?
Yeah.